Oh man, y'all think y'all really know Oprah, don't y'all? Oh no. See, before this social media thing went on, you know, Oprah had to play her cards right. She had to realize who she was in this business and who the people she couldn't mess with. Now, when Oprah was just a talk show host, she never really was just a talk show host. But she was championed by Phil Donahue. Phil Donahue is the reason for a lot of her coming up into power. You know, Oprah been turned her backs towards a lot of people for a long time. But she was still doing things in the African American community at that time. She was making sure that her show and her being with the network executives, working behind the scenes, she worked her butt off. Well, it's still there. She didn't lose it, but she was working hard. And on her daily talk show, she decided she was going to go on a weight loss program because she was offended. You know, she dropped an F-bomb outside a comedy show because this comedian made a joke about, you know, Oprah, and she didn't kind of like it. Hey, Oprah Winfrey, she could run a little bit of water in the tub and she'd get in it and overflow. And she didn't like that at all. All these fat jokes about Oprah Winfrey. So she went on a diet where she lost so much weight in the early 90s. And everybody was like, wow, look at Oprah. You know, then she ended up gaining all the weight back. And it was like, oh man, Oprah done gained the weight back again. Because Oprah goes through periods of depression. And she needs to eat. So, during this process, Oprah lost a lot more weight doing a Atkins diet or some diet in 93. She lost so much weight. It was like people thought she was sick. Oprah was so small you would not believe it. And it was more evident because it was like her face had sunk in, her eyes is the biggest thing, bigger than her head. And it was like, oh my gosh, what has happened to Oprah? And one thing that was more evident is when you see an interview she did with Michael Jordan when he retired. And he was explaining on Oprah's show why he retired. And you see Oprah, you go, oh my goodness. So that one you could probably find on the internet somewhere. You can look that up. But all of this is to give you background stories of Oprah. You know, who's going to come into play before we get to the end. Now, she gains that weight back before she lands a mega deal with her own production company, Harpo Studios. And network executives love Oprah. Oprah always told the line. She never went against the grain. And when she tried to do things and make movies for the blacks, it was always something that she wanted to do that she felt was favorable to us. But her audience, her core 40, 50-year-old housewives across America who were predominantly Caucasian. Because at that time, most housewives had to work with their husbands. So when you come on in the morning, unless they had a VCR that was scheduled to record, they missed the Oprah show. And you came on at the same time as, like, my grandma soaps. So she rarely would watch Oprah. Her soaps came first. Guiding Light, All My Children. So, you know, those were her type of programs. You weren't finna mess up her rhythm. So, with this being said, during all this time, she had met business tycoon Stedman Graham. Now, Stedman Graham and Oprah, to keep Oprah's secret, they had to go into a program of denial and deniability, and to get away all the questions. Here comes Stedman Graham. You know, Stedman Graham came in, and I don't remember what year, but Stedman's like I say, he's a business tycoon who nobody knew anything really about. You couldn't find a coworker to say anything about Stedman Graham. They were, some people who did know him and said anything, said they were more shocked than anything, because he never said anything about his personal life. Like, there's no pictures of Oprah on his office tape. So, him being a lawyer and business tycoon, and then pretty soon, it's like as soon as the story came out, about half a year later, there was someone getting ready to come out to say that they were involved with Stedman Graham. And it wasn't a female. And this situation was handled very swiftly and very cold by Oprah. She came in and got involved and had her people do some things so that this story had never came to light ever again. You probably can't even find it on the internet in a rumor circle. And rumor has it that they're both each other's beards. You know, and that's just how it is. And he lives a private life with the person he wants to, but he has to be there for certain appearances that she needs him there for, and that's that. But there is no marriage. Now, how does this play into today's game? As one former employee of Oprah Winfrey, who used to work at Harpo Studios, would say, Oprah is a slick itch with the B in front. And that's what we used to call her here. The slick itch. Because she plays an innocent role, puts on an innocent face, but she's not innocent at all. She's not new to this game. She knows how to use her power. And you won't see Oprah say a word. You won't see Oprah make a move. You won't see a press member come up to pressure her to answer a tough question that she don't even want to answer. That's not gonna happen. You know why? Because she's already been set up the surprise interview. She's a slick itch. And if you do ask her something like that, she's going to give you an answer like, oh, no, you know, and give you something real nice. Then you're going to come to find out you no longer have a job. Slick itch. Don't mess with Oprah. Now, Oprah's never said nothing but gave well wishes to Monique in public. Go and do your thing. But when you say go and do your thing and the people can't do their thing, something's wrong there. Something's very wrong there. When they say go do your thing and you can't do your thing, something's very wrong there. At least I think. Everywhere she tries to go do her thing, she can't. Do you think Tyler Perry can put Monique in a film of his? Hell no. You got to get Oprah's permission for that. You think Lee Daniels could put Monique in another film of his because he wants to? No. They belong to Oprah. And all of them are in the Skittles group. It's not going to happen. What they want was out the window a long time ago. Now, I'll say this for Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry has helped so many people's careers and helped them in Hollywood, even though they're not with them or signed to work with Tyler Perry. He's done more for black actors in Hollywood than you will probably ever know. I'm serious about that. So for you guys to say, well, she got an Oscar for Precious, Monique got an Oscar. Let me tell you what an Oscar means when you're black. Nothing. Ask Halle Berry what an Oscar did for her. When she was the first black to win an Oscar in acting for, 60, 70 years? What did that do for Halle Berry? What did winning the Oscar do for any of these people? You know, let me tell you something right now. Taraji won an Oscar for the she didn't win it. She was nominated for an Oscar for Benjamin Button. She was great in Benjamin Button. Probably one of the best roles I've seen her play. But do you know they paid her very low? She got like $150,000 to play that role. From the $500,000 she tried to negotiate. They knocked her down to $100,000. Then they wanted her to pay out of pocket. When they went to film in New Orleans for like 11 days, she had to pay for her own hotel room and everything. They took that out of her purse and out of her salary. Isn't that insane? But you know why Taraji P. Henson did that? She did the movie anyway because she said, okay, well, I'm going to see what happens on the next run. She got an Oscar and it didn't, she got the Oscar nomination. She's at the Oscars and she didn't win, but the next one wasn't going to be any better. Because they don't go off, okay, well, she got nominated for an Oscar. Not when you're black. When you're black, they look at what money you accepted the last time. So, Tyler Perry made the movie I Could Do Bad by Myself with Taraji P. Henson. And you know what he paid Taraji? $500,000. He paid her what she was worth. Paid her $500,000, and by him doing that, it will help her in all her future negotiations. By him paying her that much money. Because she was more than worth it. She was great in the film. And he paid her worth, and it helped her in her career throughout. So that did more for her than winning the Oscar or being nominated for an Oscar. I'm just saying. So the Oscar is not the end all be all way to riches. That's all I'm saying. It's the illusion that it is. Because see, it always have went to those who weren't our color. So for them, yeah, the opportunities are probably endless. But for us, it's the end, or how much money you took. I won an Oscar. Oh, that's great. But I'm looking at how much money they paid you. You know, they must didn't see. So it's always another hurdle. So when you see Oprah with Tiffany Haddish on Ellen's show, and it's a surprise for Tiffany Haddish, it probably was a surprise for Tiffany, but it wasn't for Oprah. That's a slick itch with the B in front. That is a slick one. And she knew what she was doing when she came out to do that. One, she's out promoting A Wrinkle in Time. Two, she's out there championing Tiffany Haddish because of what's going on with Monique's situation. She's taking the pictures with Tiffany Haddish, and because she knows it's going to be everywhere, and she thinks that's going to be a jab at Monique. You see? That's how Oprah plays her game. She's going to let other people talk out their mouths for her, or she stay quiet. All them social media posts you saw with, oh, here's Baltimore City. Look at Baltimore City. When Freddie Gray died, where was Monique? Where was Monique? Oprah done this and did that. Where was Monique? Isn't she from Baltimore? Who do you think pushed to have that out there? Nobody tracks where these memes come from and where they start from, do they? Yeah. Slick itch with the B in front. She wanted that narrative out there, and the people were going to push it. And they're going to be, yeah, see, she talking all this, but where was she at when all these riots was going on in Baltimore? She wasn't there for that. But where were y'all at when she was going to hospitals, going to schools, all before there was any murders or anything going on in Baltimore? She was always going to school. She had an Oscar. She was going around talking to the students. Where was everybody at when she was doing these things? Did you know if Monique was working at the time when these incidents took place? Was she on location? Was she somewhere she probably couldn't be in Baltimore? But people never remember what you do. They always remember what you don't do when they want you to do it. Now, I'm not going to say Oprah don't have a heart. Oprah has done a lot of things. But she's also cold. She let a lot of people go that worked at Harpo Studios here in Chicago. A lot of people got fired and let go. They felt that it was wrongly done. A lot of blacks on the west side still ticked off that they shut Harpo Studios down in Chicago. When she went to the OWN network, basically she didn't need Harpo Studios in Chicago pretty much anymore. She just didn't. They didn't understand the business of it, but I did. But when you look at a good deed, you got to look at some of the motives behind the good deed and what it really meant. Tiffany Haddish right now, everybody's using her as ammunition against Monique, which is stupid. When Tiffany Haddish basically got it because of the fame of her movie, and she's working her butt off right now to keep herself in this position. I just did a video telling you this. So Oprah comes out and champions her, put her arm around her to let her know she's one of us. She's with us, Monique. You're not. Just to stick it to her. And then when Haddish's Netflix deal comes out and it's reported and dropped, and when they go public with it, that'll be another jab at Monique that they'll take. But you'll never hear Oprah mention Monique's name out of her mouth ever again. That's a done deal. That's how true power works. And you make sure that those words never come to your table. You don't ask me anything about people that you know I don't want to talk about. That's power. And Oprah don't mind using it. She knows what she's doing. So, it's your boy Carcino. I'm out.